With early voting underway for midterm elections, turnout in the Concho Valley has been similar to that of a presidential election.
It's been consistent. In fact, I think a couple of our polls, we've actually had voters in line at 5 o'clock, so we have to pull them inside the poll before we can close the poll because everybody in line gets to vote.
In the November 2014 midterm election, just over 7,000 people voted early. Presently, we are already approaching that number, and we are set to surpass it before the first week of early voting ends.
We don't count anything until Election Day. By law, we're not allowed to. So we get all of that done on one day, on Election Day, and that's when we'll know how many turned out for what and so forth.
If you are unable to stand in line for long periods of time, there is a new mobility law that can help.
If they're disabled and they meet certain criteria, they can request to be moved to the front of the line, and we're more than happy to accommodate that so they don't have to stand. If there is a long line, they don't have to stand in that line.
There are also rules to remember when taking your trip to the polls. There is no electioneering.
Sometimes very subtle, if it says anything about voting, if it says anything about one of the issues that's on the ballot, they should not be wearing that to the poll because that's considered electioneering.
You also aren't allowed to use an electronic recording device within 100 feet of the polling location door.
And we've had some folks here that are like standing in line texting or talking on the phone or trying to take pictures in the poll, and that's not allowed by law. There's no electronic recording devices.
For a complete list of polling locations, visit ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For News Connection, I'm Erin Bailey.